and I feel that I'm still by my hello. Um, let's get this going. 2020 day 18.py, and now we have 10 seconds. So let us hope that today goes goes well. All right, day 18. So the winter knows a heavily forested continent slowly for the horizon. You're interrupted with the child with the math homework. According to this, since the math follows different rules, you remember. Homework is a period of expressions of addition, multiplication, and parentheses. So like normal math, parentheses indicate the expression side must be valued. If we use addition, still finds the sum of the numbers of both sides. Still finds the product. However, the rules of operator precedence have changed. Rather than valuing multiplication before addition, the operators have the same precedence are valued left to right regardless of the order in which they appear. For example, the steps to evaluate the expression 1 to that or that. Parentheses can override this order. For example, here's what happens if parentheses are added to a form. Here are a few more examples. 4 times 5 becomes 26. 5 plus 8 times plus becomes 437. Before you can help the homework, you need to understand it yourself. Evaluate the expression on each line of the homework. What is the sum of the resulting values? Okay, good. This so we need we need a couple of things. So let me just put this one in here. We need a data structure to represent this, and of course we will represent it as how will we represent it? We will represent it as a sequence of atoms, and an atom is going to have actually no, we're going to represent it as so let me do this from typing import list and let me think about this. So I will call this an expression is a list of strings. I'll just do it this way. And evaluate an expression which is an expression goes to an int and let us say value equals expression 0 and for I in range 1 then expression 2 and let's say op equals expression I value if op equals plus value equals value plus expression I plus 1 elif op equals times value equals value times expression I plus 1 and then else raise value error bad op. Okay, so this may be a real bad approach, and then return value. Okay, so that will value equals int expression 0 plus int expression I plus 1 times int expression I plus 1. Okay, so that will allow me to evaluate an expression like this. And what do I want to do? And def evaluate raw, and let's say raw, which is a string, and that's going to return an int. And so if it in raw or that in raw do something, and then else return, let's say tokens equals raw dot split, and return evaluate tokens. Okay. And let me just make sure that that works with the example. So this thing should be 71, right? So let's just make sure that that works, because we should have raw equals this and assert that evaluate raw equals 71. So let's just see if that works. Okay, that works. Good. So now we need to do this. And let us do the following. Tokens equals this. And I need to be staring at this while I try and figure out how to parse it. And there's probably some smart way involving parsers. And let me do the following. Let me do the I'm going to use regexes in the following way. Import re, and let's say regex equals open paren, and then not open paren plus, and then closed paren. Okay. So I think that works. I'm gonna have to play around with this. Import re. Okay, re dot search regex comma raw. Okay. So while re, let's say while match, look at this, a walrus expression. While match equals re dot search regex comma raw. Match equals this. Match dot match dot group. Okay, so that's so value equals evaluate match dot group 1 to -1, so get rid of the parentheses. match dot group 1-to-1 dot split. Okay. And then so len match dot group is 11. So and so raw equals raw up to match dot start plus space no, I don't think I need a space. Plus string of value. This is a really hacky way to do it. Plus raw of match dot end. Okay, let's see if that works. Evaluate raw 2, invalid, int base 6. Value because value match dot. So let me do this. Print match dot group. And evaluate raw 2. This is one of the trial and error kind of days. So we print that 2 plus 4 plus 9, 6 plus 9 plus 8, 6 plus no, so this is the wrong regex. I want not opening plus question mark maybe, so take as few as possible. Okay, and assert that evaluate raw 2 equals which one did I choose? That's 249. Okay, 249, so that becomes 13632. 13632. So let's try running that again. Okay, so that worked. That's good. Let's take out this print statement. What a mess this is, but what a beautiful mess. Evaluate the expression on each line of the homework, and raw equals f dot reads lines equals raw dot split on new line, and print sum of evaluate raw line for line in lines. Okay, so let's see if this works. That's a big number. All right. Let's see if this is right. If it's not right, then we're in trouble, but that is the right answer. Okay, it probably would have broken. You actually answered the child's questions, and they finished part 1 with the second community advanced math. Now addition and multiplication have different precedence levels, but they're not the ones you're familiar with. Instead, addition is evaluated before multiplication. For example, the steps to evaluate the expression 1 plus 2 times 3 plus 4 times 5 plus 6 are as follows. Here are the other examples from above. What do you get if you use the new rules? Okay, so now let me def evaluate 2 expression goes to an int, and what I want to do is as follows. While len expression is bigger than 1, do something, and then return int of expression And so what I'm going to do is if plus in expression, then I want to say I equals expression dot index of plus val new val equals int of expression I minus 1 plus int of expression I plus 1. So as long as there's a plus, I add them together. And expression equals expression up to I minus 1 plus string of new val. This is inefficient, but it doesn't really matter. Plus expression of I plus 2 because I don't want to use I minus 1 and I don't want to use I plus 2. And so actually I'm going to change this and say if there's no plus in expression, it's all times, so I'll just say return evaluate I can just evaluate it the way it is, I think. And now this is bad, but I'm going to again make a copy of this and call it evaluate raw 2, and all it's going to do is call evaluate 2 and evaluate 2. And so 231 cert evaluate raw 2 raw equals 231, and that one becomes this. Assert evaluate raw 2 these these are not super clean, but that's all right. Let's run it and see. Okay, so that passed again, and print sum of evaluate raw 2 line for line in lines. Okay, so let's run it again and do it this way. And now we get this, and let's copy it and let us paste it, and that's the right answer. Okay, good. So that was, and now let's see if I can clean this up. I probably, I don't know that I want to. They're a little bit different. So what did I do here? I did two things, and I don't know that I, why did I define this twice? Because I copied it instead of moving it. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So in the first one it said I have, so this is for an expression with no parentheses, first of all. And so maybe I should have called this evaluate no parens, and the second one evaluate. Anyway, so if I have no parentheses in the first part, it just says go left to right, right? And so what I do is I take the int of expression 0, and I just go left to right. If there's a plus, I add the next thing. If there's a time, I multiply the next thing. And once I'm done, I return the value. So that's relatively simple. And then I have evaluate raw, which is what's interesting, because regex to match open parens dot 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 closed parens with no parens in between. So I want to find kind of the, let me go back to this and show you what I mean. So if I look at this and I think, how do I do these? I want to find the innermost parentheses, evaluate what's inside them, and then stick it back as a number. So innermost parentheses means open paren, close paren with no other parens in between, right? And so what I do is I find this, I pull out this 8 plus 6 times 4, I evaluate it using my other function that evaluates when I have no parens, and then I stick it back. And once I stick it back, it's like 7 times 3 times 3 plus 9 times 3 times whatever this evaluates to. And now I still have parentheses, so I do the same thing on this, and at that point I get this parenthesized expression, and I evaluate that, pull it out, put it back, and then it's 5 times 9 times something, and then I just evaluate that. And same here. I find, the first time I find 2 plus 4 plus 9, evaluate it and stick it back as a number. And then I find this guy and I evaluate him and I stick him back as a number. And then now I will find, once this becomes a number, this becomes a number, I find this guy, pull him out, evaluate him, stick him back as a number, and then there's no parens left. So that's what I'm doing. And this is kind of a little bit of an ugly mess, but it works. And I use strings just because I could have like parsed pluses and times into things, but I didn't want to. Okay, so for evaluate 2, they said now plus takes precedence over times. So what that means is that whenever I see a plus, when I have an expression with no parentheses, I want to take care of all the pluses before I do any times, right? So what I do here is I say if there's a plus in the expression, find it, and so I say while if I only have one term, then let me see this again. Again, assumes expression has no parens, and so find the plus and use it on the surrounding numbers, and then put that result back. So I just keep finding pluses, finding pluses, finding pluses until there's no more pluses, and once there's no more pluses, it's all times, and I just send it off to evaluate, and it will do all the multiplication for me. And if somehow I end up with one thing, then I return the int of it. And now evaluate 2 is exactly the same, except it's calling evaluate 2. So I named things horribly, and I used a really messy regex, and I don't like this solution, but parsing is messy, and so unless you're going to use like a Python parsing library, it's going to be messy. And so let us just be happy that this works. And so we're happy that it works. So that's that, and yeah. All right, cool. Got that right, and we will